Have you ever landed somewhere new, stepped off a plane and felt an immediate sense of belonging? That rare feeling like you're not just a visitor, but a welcomed guest. That's exactly what happens the moment you arrive in El Salvador. The people here greet you with genuine smiles and open arms, making you feel like you've come home, even if it's your very first visit. There's a warmth in every handshake, every buenos dias, and every friendly nod from a stranger on the street. As you step outside into the golden tropical sunlight, you're instantly wrapped in a sense of welcome. The air is thick with the scent of flowers and fresh fruit, and the sounds of laughter and music drift through the breeze. El Salvador is a country bursting with color and life. The emerald green volcanoes rise majestically in the distance, blue lakes shimmer under the sun, and bustling markets overflow with fruits in every shade imaginable. It's a place that awakens your senses and fills you with energy. I arrived here with a personal challenge, to experience as much of El Salvador as I possibly could in just one day, and to do it all on a budget of only $50. It sounds impossible, right? But I was determined to see how far that could take me. In many countries, $50 might barely cover a single meal or a taxi ride. But here it's not just enough. It's an invitation to explore, to taste, and to connect with the real heart of El Salvador. My mission is simple: eat what the locals eat, travel the way they do, and discover the landscapes that make this country so unique. From bustling city streets to quiet mountain paths, I want to see it all, just like a Salvadoran would. This journey isn't about pinching pennies or being cheap. It's about authenticity. It's about connecting with people, sharing stories, and experiencing the true spirit of El Salvador, beyond the tourist brochures. So come along with me as we dive into mouth-watering food, explore breathtaking natural wonders, and meet unforgettable people whose kindness and joy will stay with you long after you leave. El Salvador may be small in size, but it's overflowing with heart, culture, and adventure. Together, we're about to uncover its giant soul. Let's get started. Our adventure in El Salvador begins now. Here's the plan. One crisp $50 bill, tucked safely in my pocket, and a whole country waiting to be explored. It's not just about the money. It's about seeing how far a single note can take you when you're open to adventure and willing to embrace the unknown. With the sun rising over El Salvador, I set out with nothing but that 50 and a full day ahead, determined to fill it with as many authentic Salvadoran experiences as possible. The city is waking up, and so is my sense of curiosity. That means savoring street food, hopping on local buses, and making sure there's room in the budget for at least one big, unforgettable adventure. Maybe ziplining through the jungle or exploring ancient ruins, all of it on a shoestring. No credit cards, no backup cash, no safety net. Just a sense of fun, a dash of resourcefulness, and a willingness to let the day unfold however it may. It's a little risky, but that's what makes it exciting. I sat down at a cafe, notebook in hand, and sketched out my budget. Most of it would go to food because you can't really know a place until you've tasted it. Some would be set aside for buses and local transport, and I made sure to reserve a chunk for a big activity that would push me out of my comfort zone. That big activity could be anything. Maybe a guided hike up a volcano, or a spontaneous tour I stumble upon. The key is to stay flexible and open to whatever opportunities come my way. This approach forces you to skip the tourist traps and dive straight into the heart of local life. You find yourself wandering through bustling markets, sharing tables with locals at tiny eateries, and discovering the real flavor of El Salvador. You eat where locals eat, ride the public buses shoulder to shoulder with Salvadorans, and learn to navigate the city like someone who lives here. Every meal, every ride, every conversation becomes part of the adventure. Along the way, you connect with the real rhythm of the country. You chat with bus drivers, share stories with market vendors, and realize that the best moments often come from the people you meet. $50 isn't a limitation, it's a key. It unlocks doors to experiences you'd never find in a guidebook, and it challenges you to see El Salvador through fresh eyes. Every dollar spent is a choice, a step deeper into the culture. Each transaction is a chance to learn, to taste, to connect, and to make memories that last far longer than the money itself. This isn't just about stretching money, it's about stretching your perspective, challenging your assumptions, and discovering how much adventure you can pack into a single day. With my shoes laced up and my camera ready, I was set for the challenge. The day ahead was a blank canvas, and I couldn't wait to see what stories would fill its pages. So, let's hit the road and see just how far $50 can take us in the heart of El Salvador. The adventure starts now. To understand El Salvador, Start with a pupusa. It's a thick handmade corn tortilla stuffed with cheese, beans, or pork, grilled to golden perfection. I found a small pupuseria just outside the capital, run by a woman whose hands moved with practiced speed. I ordered 2-1 revuelta, cheese, beans, pork, and 1 with cheese and loroco, an edible flour. They came hot with curtido, tangy cabbage slaw, and salsa roja. Tearing into a pupusa, scooping up curtido and drizzling salsa, it's pure joy. The best part? Both cost just $1.50. For less than $2 I had a meal deeply connected to Salvadoran culture. Eating with my hands, surrounded by locals, I felt grateful. This is what travel is about. Simple, perfect moments of connection. First expense, $1.50. Remaining budget, $48.50. Next up, a proper Salvadoran breakfast at a local Commodore. I ordered desayuno típico scrambled eggs with tomatoes and peppers, refried beans, sweet fried plantains, thick tortillas, queso fresco, and crema. It was hearty, flavorful, and made with love. The coffee, locally grown, rich, and chocolatey, El Salvador's pride. Elena, the owner, chatted with me about her food and my $50 challenge. The entire feast, plus coffee, cost just $3. Incredible value, but even better hospitality. I left with a full stomach and a warm heart, ready for the day. Second expense, $3. Remaining budget, $45.50. This is how you start an adventure. Good food, good people, and a sense of belonging. Onward. Time to head for the mountains, Santa Ana Volcano. Instead of a taxi, I hopped on a chicken bus, a retired American school bus, now a rolling work of art. The bus terminal was a whirlwind of color and energy. I paid the ayudante 75 cents for a ride that lasted over an hour. Inside, the bus was packed with locals, music blaring, vendors hopping on and off selling snacks. It's more than transport, it's a slice of Salvadoran life. I chatted with a woman heading to visit her daughter. She shared hiking tips and local sweets. For less than $1, I got a front row seat to real everyday El Salvador. Third expense 75 cents. Remaining budget $44.75. Sometimes, the journey is the adventure, and this ride was unforgettable. Next stop, the volcano. From Santa Ana, I caught another bus and a shared pickup to Cerro Verde National Park, the volcano hike's starting point. The park entrance fee, including a guide, was a bargain. The hike began in a lush cloud forest, then opened to volcanic terrain. Our guide shared stories and pointed out unique plants as we climbed. After 90 minutes, we reached the summit. And the view was jaw-dropping. A turquoise sulfur lake bubbled in the crater with panoramic views of volcanoes and Lake Coatepec. Standing there, wind whipping around me, I felt pure awe. The cost for transport and entry $10. Biggest expense of the day, but worth every cent. Fourth expense $10. Remaining budget $34.75. Some memories are priceless. After the volcano, I headed to Lake Cote Peak, a stunning crater lake. A short bus ride brought me to the water's edge where families swam and relaxed. I paid $1 to use a local family's dock and dip my feet in the cool water. The perfect post-hike remedy. Hungry, I found a lakeside spot and ordered fresh fried fish with rice, salad, and tortillas. The fish was caught that morning, simple, delicious, and with $1 million view. Lunch cost $8 but felt like a luxury. Sometimes adventure is just being still and soaking it all in. Dock access, $1, lunch, $8, total $9. Remaining budget, $25.75. El Salvador's natural beauty is endless. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in brilliant shades of orange and pink, I found myself wandering through the bustling streets of El Salvador. The air was filled with laughter, the sizzle of food carts, and the irresistible aroma of street snacks. I stopped at a vendor and picked up a bag of mango verde, tangy, fresh, and the perfect treat for my upcoming bus ride. Alongside the mango, I couldn't resist a sweet Salvadoran quesadilla pastry, its soft crumb and hint of cheese making it a local favorite. All of this cost me just $1, a small price for such delicious flavors and a taste of local tradition. As the bus rumbled through the city, I sat next to Carlos, a university student with a bright smile and an infectious enthusiasm for his country. We broke bread together, sharing my pastry and stories from our lives. He told me about his studies, his family, and his dreams of becoming a teacher. Carlos listened intently as I recounted my day's adventures, climbing a volcano, swimming in a crater lake, and sampling every local dish I could find. He was proud to hear how much I was enjoying his homeland, and he eagerly shared his favorite hidden spots in the city, places only locals know. These small, genuine moments of connection, sharing food, laughter, and dreams, are what make travel truly unforgettable. It's not just about the places you see, but the people you meet along the way. Every person I met, Elena, the ever-helpful bus drivers, the passionate guides, and of course, Carlos, welcomed me with open arms and warm smiles. Their kindness turned every simple interaction into a cherished memory. As night fell and the city lights flickered on, I wandered back into town and treated myself to 2 more pupusas from a lively street vendor. The sizzling sound, the savory aroma, and the vendor's friendly banter made the meal even more special. For just $1.50, I enjoyed a dinner that tasted like home, even though I was far from mine. My final expenses for the day were simple: $1 for snacks, $1.50 for dinner. That brought my total to just $2.50, leaving me with $23.25 for the rest of my journey. Traveling here, every dollar stretches further and every meal feels like a celebration. In just one day, I'd climbed a volcano, swam in a sparkling lake, and feasted on incredible Salvadoran food, all for less than $50. The landscapes were breathtaking and the meals were unforgettable. But the real treasure of El Salvador isn't just its natural beauty or its cuisine, it's the people and their stories. Their resilience, warmth, and generosity are what truly set this country apart. As I looked out the bus window, watching the city lights blur by, I realized that these connections and shared moments are what I'll remember most from my travels. El Salvador's greatest gift isn't something you can buy or photograph, it's the warmth of its people, the smiles and stories that linger long after the journey ends. Sitting here, full and content, I realized the $50 challenge taught me something deeper. The true wealth of El Salvador isn't in what money can buy. It's in its landscapes, food, and above all, its people. This country greets you with resilience and open arms. The best travel moments are simple: a pupusa by the roadside, a bumpy bus ride, a shared smile. El Salvador offers these moments in abundance. I came to see what $50 could buy. I left with priceless memories. This is a land of beauty, flavor, and kindness. If you want an adventure that feeds your soul, come to El Salvador. Come for the pupusas, stay for the volcanoes, and fall in love with the people. Thank you, El Salvador, for sharing your heart. I'll cherish it always.